Oh, it's me. It's B motherfucking C. What's up, guys? It's the Amplified Man coming to you with my favorite video of the week. We haven't done one of these in a long time, at least 6 weeks, right? And that is Amplified Q&A. This is a video where I get to interact with you guys, man. You guys send your questions in during the week, and I get to answer a lot of them, right? I like to say most of them anyway. In this video. Obviously, I can't get to all of them, not enough hours in the day, but I think I put together a good selection here, and for the next roughly an hour-ish, we're just going to shoot the shit and hang together and talk some wrestling. So if you don't have an hour-ish to hang with the Amplified Man, then exit out of this video and come back later tonight or tomorrow, but you really should try to catch the whole entire video because, again, I want to hang with you guys, so it'd be nice if you want to hang with the Amplified Man. Thank you. So, not just for a question or two, man. Let's hang out for the entire video. So, hopefully you guys are able to catch the entire video, man, because, again, this is a chance for me to just talk some wrestling, you know, not like Raw and SmackDown where I'm actually covering one show for the half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is. This is just all over the place. We get to catch up on and talk about a plethora of subjects and topics. And you guys get to pick my brain a little bit, and I get to see what you guys are asking and what you guys, you know, where your minds are at. And I get a better pulse of where you guys are as the wrestling community in full. So that's my little intro to, before I start these questions, I just want to thank you guys very much for sticking with me during the time that I was gone filming Tyler's Day 30 and, you know, just clearing my head a little bit. It was a much needed break that I needed, and you guys are right there with me when I came back, man. So I'm blown away by my first video when I came back a couple of days ago. What was it? Tuesday morning's video. It was about Monday Night Raw's review and reaction. And I'm blown away by the support from you guys, man. How many of you guys went out of your way to say welcome back and you're glad to have me back and that you're blown away that I'm back? It was just, the support was amazing. You know how you can give little likes or hearts, whatever it is that the content creator can give to you guys. I gave a bunch of them out to you guys. You guys kept pouring in with more love and support. So what I'm going to do, sometime in the next 24 hours, I hope to do this, or 48 hours, I'm going to go back into that video, and every single person that welcomed me back, I am going to smash that heart button that I can smash. And that shows you, obviously I can't comment back to all of you guys, that would take so long, but I'm going to smash that love button right back to you guys. So you guys are going to know that that was personally me who saw that comment and smash the love right back to you guys. So I'm going to do that in the next 24 hours, hopefully, and show you guys that I saw the love that you're giving me, and I'm going to give it right back to you guys. So that Monday video that I did blew me away. Thank you so much, guys. All right, that's a lot of, or that's enough hooting and hollering and getting all mushy here. Let's get into the questions. We're going to start off with Omar Lewis. I believe this was over on YouTube, not Twitter. Great to have you back, BC. Thank you, Omar. There was an obvious void with your absence. My question is in regard to Money in the Bank. Does it make the most sense for heels to win the briefcase, or a face turning heel as he or she is cashing in? Once again, welcome back. I'm hoping you were able to relax and handle your Tyler's Day 30 business. I did relax a lot, and as far as Tyler's Day 30, Omar, we got a lot more filmed and finished, but there's a lot more to go. Maybe I'll touch up more on that. Tyler's Day 30, my first ever movie. Maybe I'll talk more about that later in this video, but there's a lot more to go, but we're definitely kicking ass. But as far as the bulk of your question, Omar, regards to Money in the Bank, does it make the most sense for a heel to win the briefcase, or a face turning heel as he or she is cashing in? Absolutely. It makes not just the most sense, the only sense here is to give a heel the briefcase, because you can't really, it's one of my funnest matches to view as an audience, participant, right? To be able to watch Money in the Bank, it's fun. But a hero, right? Or as we call it in professional wrestling, the face, to win the briefcase, what is that really doing for he or she? They're already the face. They're already the favorite. What you're doing now is you're actually hindering them because the face, the hero, is supposed to play to the crowd, right? The hero slash face is always supposed to give the crowd what they want, right? The ultimate payoff is supposed to be with the face. So if the face wins the briefcase, obviously the audience, the crowd, the fans are always going to want that person to cash in. Every single time they see their favorite come out with that briefcase, they're going to be hooting and hollering to cash in. And when they don't on that night, whether it's a live event or on TV, guys are going to be disappointed. Much more disappointed than we would as a heel holding that briefcase. So not only in that aspect, but also the briefcase is meant for an antagonist. Somebody who's going to keep playing like they're going to cash in, but then take it away. Play up the fact that they're trying to antagonize not just the person who's champion, but antagonize the crowd. Oh, I'm going to cash in. I'm going to tease it. But at the last second, I'm not gonna. And you can attract those boos. And keep that going for the better part of a year, whether that's going to be 6 months, 9 months, or a whole year. It's meant for an antagonist. An antagonist is obviously a heel, so yes, not only does it make the most sense, in my mind, it makes the only sense to give the briefcase to a heel. Now that limits you this year, for the women especially, because you only have, 2 heels, correct? If I am correct, I believe it's Naomi, Sasha Banks is in this thing, Ember Moon, that's 3 faces right there. Natty is now a face, that's 4. Who am I missing, guys? What'd I say? Naomi, Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, Natty. You have... I know there was 2 more faces. Were there not? Who am I missing here for the... This is going to bug me, guys. Well, the 2 heels are Lana and Alexa Bliss. We know that. Charlotte Flair. That's another face. So that's 5 faces, 2 heels. And there was 1 more face, correct, guys? Becky Lynch. Okay? So let's just go over that. I know, it took a lot to... That was right off the top of my head, man. Naomi, Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and... I just had the fucking 6th. Fucking A, man. You gotta be kidding me. The whole hour is gonna be me trying to remember these women. Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, Naomi, and Natty. Those are the 6. I'm not gonna say them again because I will forget. And the 2 heels are Lana and Alexa Bliss. That does not leave you a lot of room if you're going to give a heel the briefcase. So, just like the video says, the title, I am going to give you my 2 picks of who I have winning Money in the Bank for 2018. And I'm going to give you one of those picks right now, and I'm going to give you the other one later. And the later one is going to be the men's Money in the Bank winner, as I see it. Right now, I'm going to give you the women's Money in the Bank winner. And if you're new to this channel, then you might be surprised. If you've been on this channel from the beginning, you're not surprised at all. And that is Sasha, the legit fucking boss, Banks. Now, here's why, guys. And you're saying, but you're supposed to give it to a heel. Judging by what you said, BC, the briefcase belongs on a heel. So how are you going to have Sasha Banks doing that, right? Well... That's the whole thing, because the second part of Omar's question, in fact, says, in regards to Money in the Bank, does it make the most sense for the heel to win the briefcase or a face turning heel as he or she is cashing in? So this wouldn't be as they're cashing in, but it is a face getting the briefcase and turning heel. Now, how do I have Sasha Banks turning heel? Because a lot of people are thinking Bayley intervening in Money in the Bank and costing Sasha Banks the match, Bayley turning heel. Makes sense. But I have it a totally different flip-flopped way. And for the actual way Sasha Banks is turning heel, you guys are going to have to catch next week's video, Amplified Booking of Money in the Bank. That's where I'm going to make a whole video booking Money in the Bank, as if I'm the head booker, the head creator, the head writer for Money in the Bank. How would I book it from the first match to the main event? I'm going to have a video out later next week. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I have Sasha Banks win the match and how I have her turning heel afterwards. But I'm not going to tell you right now. I'm just going to tell you that I would put that briefcase on Sasha Banks. And initially, she retrieves that briefcase as a face, and then she turns heel. Because think about it, guys. Who are you going to put on? Lana? Come on, man. We just had Carmella win last year's briefcase. And as much as we love Carmella, some of you guys don't, I don't mind Carmella at all, and I feel she's improving. But there is in no way, shape, or form should she be SmackDown Women's Champion of the fucking world right now. Of all people, when you have a roster like Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Ember fucking Moon, even Natty, Naomi, Carmella is your champion of the world right now? Doesn't sit well with me. Yes, she deserves accolades and appreciation for how she goes about her business, how far she has come, how hard of a worker she is, how much she has improved. Absolutely, Carmella gets all of that, just like Alexa Bliss. But to be champion right now, I don't know. Do we do that all again? Lana would basically be Carmella 2.0 right now, but even a little bit less. I think Carmella is even more advanced in her in-ring skill level. So Lana would be Carmella 2.0. So we're starting back from scratch, and eventually what? Lana gets the championship in the next year? I don't see that, and you guys know I don't mind Lana at all, but I don't see how she becomes next champion. So that would only leave Alexa Bliss as your only heel in the match to retrieve that briefcase. But Alexa Bliss, really? Do we do that all again? We just had 2017 belong to Alexa Bliss. And we saw that became stale. There was many, many months where she didn't even defend the championship, guys. What was it, like 4 or 5 months at least? Where Alexa Bliss just was on commentary or not even on the shows. Months went by. It was like Brock Lesnar, but even worse. So what do? Give her a briefcase and we watch Alexa Bliss do it all again? I think it makes the most sense here to turn Sasha heel, even though I said many times that at this point I don't even give a fuck if she turns heel, because they wasted the opportunity many months before WrestleMania to turn Sasha heel and set up a huge Bayley versus Sasha Banks WrestleMania match with Sasha Banks being the heel. Because we all know Sasha Banks loves being the heel much more. We all know she belongs in that heel role because she's even better as a heel, if that's even possible. But they just never pulled the trigger on it. So now's the time, if it's gonna happen. Picture this, guys. Whether you love Sasha Banks or you don't. Sasha Banks in her character as a heel, bringing that briefcase down. She's already glistened up in gold, right? That's her whole character. She's the boss. It's all about being the best and having the gold around your fucking hands and neck and around your waist. So now she's got that fucking briefcase, legitimizing her character as the legit boss. I just think that makes the most sense. And again, next week's video will tell you how I go about doing that. And it'll come together. The pieces of the puzzle will start to make more sense even more next week. But that's my pick, man. Sasha Banks, not just because, guys, she's my favorite female wrestler. No, I'm putting the bias aside. And I'm saying it just makes the most fucking sense right now. 2017, you pushed this lady into obscurity as it was in the beginning of 2018 as well. Why not go full throttle now with a new and improved, and again, if it's even possible, even better Sasha Banks? And again, that briefcase belongs on somebody like Sasha fucking Banks, man. So that's where I would go with it, guys. Absolutely. But to answer Omar's question again, I know I went totally into detail on this question, but yes, not only does it make the most sense to put the briefcase on a heel, it makes the only sense in my mind. Let's move on, guys. We spent a while over there on Omar's question. Question number 2 over here from the SF Jammer. I wonder if that's San Francisco. Correct me if I'm wrong, man, but SF Jammer, I know you comment a lot on the videos, man. Thank you and appreciate the love. Thank you for the comments. SF Jammer asks, was Horace Hogan really Hulk Hogan's brother? A lot of new people to pro wrestling starting in the late 90s or even early 2000s, but especially after the later 2000s. You guys probably don't even know who Horace Hogan was, but he was a guy most notably for his WCW days. He was brought in by Hulk Hogan, and they played him off like he was this, close family member, even brother of Hulk Hogan, I think it was. He is not Hulk Hogan's brother, SF Jammer. He's actually Hulk Hogan's nephew, though. In real life, he is actually related to Hulk Hogan. So Horace Hogan is the nephew of Hulk Hogan, not the brother. And he was Michael Allen Bollea is his real name. So you can look it up if you want. Michael Allen Bollea. And we all know Hulk Hogan's real name is Terry Bollea. So yeah, he is actually related to Hulk Hogan in real life. So pretty fucking... yeah, that's pretty interesting. And if you look at Horace Hogan, no offense to Horace Hogan, but you kind of can tell, like, if he wasn't related to Hulk, would he have really been in that spot? Because this guy's talent was not exactly top-notch, not even middle-notch. I don't even know if he would get today's wrestling, if he was in his prime. I don't even think he would get a NXT developmental deal, to be honest with you. But he was related to Hulk. Next question. Jive Side Productions? BC for Q&A. What are your top wrestling movies, including documentaries? And what's the shittiest wrestling movie in your opinion? You rule, brother. Thanks, my man. Rock on, dude. One of my favorite people also that comment on the channel and have stuck by me. Jive Side Productions. Much appreciated. As far as your question, what are your top wrestling movies? For me, there's a few. I'll give you about 3 or 4 right off the top of my head. My first favorite wrestling movie is called The Wrestler. It's not necessarily about WWE or starring some of their top talent or anything like that. This is with Mickey Rourke, and he's just playing like this old-time wrestler who just can't give it up. It's the only way he can really pay bills, but even more than that, it's all he knows in life. And it's kind of art imitating real life and vice versa. Because this guy, I mean, in real life, that's what we see in today's wrestling, right? We've seen so many people not really be able to break away because it is a way of life for these wrestlers. It's not just my job. It's not just my career. It's not just what I did. When you're a pro wrestler, I always say this, for fans and for the wrestlers themselves, it's something completely organic that nothing else in the world can compare to. It's its own world. It really is. It's its own universe, as WWE would like to say. And when you're a pro wrestler, you never really leave that. It's always part of you, and that character is always a part of who you are. Whether you like it or not, there's always going to be an identification from fans, how they perceive you and look at you, and when you look at yourself in the mirror. You're never really going to be able to part with that character. It's not like a character in a movie or a television show or something you're playing in a commercial or a magazine photo shoot. No, this stays with you. And we've seen it with so many greats and so many wrestlers that necessarily weren't top level main eventers. They just keep on going because A, it's how they know, the only way they know how to pay their bills, but it's also the only way they know how to live. And we've seen it with top superstars. We see it with Hulk Hogan. He lives his character 24/7. That is who he is. He can look in the mirror, but the majority of the time, he's not looking at Terry Bollea. And Terry Bollea is not looking back at him. Hulk Hogan is looking back at him. And that's what the wrestler kind of reminded me of. It was real life. And Mickey Rourke was playing that wrestler who just like, he gets older, his health is going to shit. He shouldn't be wrestling anymore, but it's all he has. Because of wrestling, because of being a superstar and always on the road, he lost his family. His own daughter won't even speak to him. And against his doctor's orders, where he should not be. I mean, one of the early scenes, he actually has a heart attack in the locker room, correct? But in the end, he has to go back. It's all he knows. And I love how the movie ends. If you've never seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it for you, but the movie ends with so many questions. Does he die? Does he live on to wrestle another match? You know? Does him and his new love interest, do they, fucking leave the wrestling world, or try to anyway, and fucking start a new life somewhere, or again, attempt to? Who knows, man? The Wrestler is one of my favorite movies of all time, not just favorite wrestling movies. Also, guys, I would be not doing this justice if I didn't bring this up, but a movie called No Holds Barred. A lot of you guys probably never heard of it, but it was back in the 80s. 1989, actually, is when it came out. 1989. So if you're not familiar with older movies, you don't know No Holds Barred. But back in those late 80s, early 90s, Hulk Hogan was the superstar. If you were a kid growing up in the 80s like I was, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, these were the people we looked up to. Beyond role models, these were people we idoled, and idolized. And they were just fucking idled. Is that fucking, we idled? I kind of like that. If that's not a word, I just made it up. But we idolized these motherfuckers. And Hulk Hogan was huge back in those late 80s, early 90s. And he got to star in a movie called No Holds Barred with a big motherfucker named Zeus. And it's actually a wrestling movie. So with, again, Hulk Hogan starring in it. And I just love this. I don't, people can harp on the acting. The acting wasn't great, or the movie could have been better in this area. Whatever, man. Growing up, that was the movie. That was the Bible back in the day. And No Holds Barred. Till this day, I still remember every scene. And every now and again, it'll come on TV, HBO or one of those motherfuckers. And if I'm home, if I have the time to catch it, or at least most of it, I'm putting that remote control down. No Holds Barred. Barred is definitely on the TV until I have to leave the house, or until HBO fucking finishes that movie. No Holds Barred. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Another one, you said including documentaries, Jive Side Productions. So I would be remiss in not saying Beyond the Mat. Beyond the Mat is a documentary behind the scenes. There was nothing quite like Beyond the Mat before Beyond the Mat came out. That really went behind the scenes of WWE and ECW and behind the scenes of the wrestling business. This was the very first documentary. When did it come out, guys? Late 90s, I want to say. Where Beyond the Mat actually went behind the scenes of ECW. And we got to see Paul Heyman's, fucking hoorah speeches before their big pay-per-views. One night, what was it? One Night Stand? One of those fucking ones. Or that was WWE's pay-per-view. One of fucking ECW's pay-per-views. You get to see Paul Heyman hyping up all of his talent. That was so cool, man. That was a goosebumps moment. You got to see, the inner workings of WWE. You actually got to go into Droz's interview with Vince McMahon. You got to go behind the scenes of Jake the Snake Roberts and all of his personal struggles. You got to see the behind the scenes of The Rock and Mick Foley actually calling their match beforehand, earlier in the day before their match at, I believe, Royal Rumble, I want to say. They were actually calling their spots. I mean, this was a documentary for the ages, and it's one of those, again, I say the Bible when I go back to movies for pro wrestling. Beyond the Mat is one of them. And also I want to say Vision Quest. This is about amateur wrestling, guys. It has nothing to do with pro wrestling. It's about this kid who really faces all these struggles and, tribulations, and when it's all said and done, he's on this quest to be the best that he can be and conquer his goals. And it's a unique movie. And again, this is from 1985. But it's a movie that's just a classic for me that not a lot of people have heard of. And that's a shame. It's called Vision Quest. Again, guys, not pro wrestling, amateur wrestling. But it is a badass movie. So definitely check it out. As far as worst wrestling movie ever made, I don't need to go through a list. I think we all can unanimously decide Ready to Rumble, starring David Arquette and basically all of the WCW roster. That was probably the worst wrestling movie ever created. Thanks for the question, man. Definitely a lot of fun. Jive Side Productions. We'll move on to Matt Bainham, BC, for Q&A. Do you get time to watch NXT? If so, what do you think of Lacey Evans? I've been watching her the past month or so, and she's slowly becoming one of my favorite female superstars. I do get time to watch NXT. I rarely watch it on Wednesday nights. I mean, I'm always too busy to really put on the network and watch NXT when it's supposed to be on. So no, I rarely watch it when it's actually on. I try to catch it. Sometimes I'm a couple weeks behind. I'll watch it in bulk. I'll like binge watch 2 or 3 episodes if I can. The thing with NXT is it's its own entity. I cannot stand, guys, when people compare NXT to WWE. They do it all the time. I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. Everybody wants to compare. Oh, NXT is a great show. See, that's how it's supposed to be done, WWE. Guys, it's 2 different worlds. It's like comparing New Japan Pro Wrestling to WWE. You can't. It's 2 different worlds. WWE is on a whole nother scale. They have to, please, all of these advertisers, they have to work to so many other cameras. They have to work to so many different demographics, and XYZ has to be hitting every bullet point. And NXT has so much more freedom. And can we just all agree that they have 1 fucking hour, which makes it so much simpler to create so much more epic programming? They have a plethora of talent, and it doesn't need to have to be larger-than-life superstars either, because they're performing usually in these small arenas, usually at Full Sail, right? Which is just a couple hundred people, I believe, filling in those seats in that auditorium. So the atmosphere is much more smaller. The superstars are much more larger than life because the atmosphere is so much more smaller. The storylines, you can make much more epic storylines because, again, it's 1 hour. You can put together 3, 4, maybe even 5 good storylines, and that'll do. That's NXT. Usually, on a week-to-week basis, right? You got about 4 or 5 good storylines. That's really it. And that's NXT, guys. NXT is a small pond. You know, a lot of NXT fans that are fucking, I guess you can call them diehard developmental fans. Okay. But, you know, they keep crying about how great NXT is and how WWE needs to be like that. WWE sucks. Well, then that's great. Stop watching WWE and watch NXT. That's cool. Or watch WWE, complain about every little thing and love NXT. That's great that you love NXT, but don't compare the 2. Because if you know anything about the pro wrestling business, and especially WWE, you know that it is apples to oranges is not even saying it justice. It is completely 2 different universes. So I agree, NXT can be really good, and most of the times it is, but it's NXT. It is the younger guys, or the developmental guys, or a lot of the smaller, non-larger-than-life guys. It just is. WWE has so many more boxes that they need to check off every show. NXT has a lot more freedom. They don't have to check those boxes off. Of course you can make a great product. It's 2 different worlds though, guys. It doesn't translate. And it's even much more than what I'm telling you. It's just, you know, this video can't go that fucking long. But I do try to make time for NXT, but it is not a priority for me, Matt. It's not a priority. As far as Lacey Evans, good female talent. My question would be, just like a lot of other people in NXT that are really great talents, but if you bring them up to WWE's main roster, where are you putting them? Where would Lacey go? Where's Shayna Baszler going to go when she comes up? Kairi Sane? Where are these ladies going to go? It's already too full right now. We already, think that other women should be champion right now or deserve a shot, a long-term program in shot at the championship. But they're not going to because it's already too crowded. So what do? Do you bring up Baszler, Lacey Evans, Bianca Belair? That's another one that should probably be on the main roster right now. But what do you do with them? There's no placement. So, yeah, she's good. Nothing over the top epic, but she's good. I was just watching a match, what was it, just this past week, right? With, I think it was with Kairi Sane, actually, from NXT. And Lacey Evans, I love when she was up on the second rope facing her opponent. She jumps up in the air, does a turn, lands on the top rope, and does a moonsault. I mean, she's got some great moves. Or at least really good moves. So she can be somebody in this business, no doubt. Or at least in WWE, I'm saying. She already is somebody in the business. But my fear would be, where would you bring her? I think somebody like Lacey Evans, if they go up to the main roster, most likely getting lost in the shuffle. Next up, we go to Abhishek, BC, for Q&A. What do you think of CM Punk winning the court case with WWE? And will he be a part of All In? As far as winning the court case with WWE, that's huge. It was going to be huge whether it was WWE defeating CM Punk in court or CM Punk defeating WWE. This was not going to end well. This was a marriage that was destined to just be a miserable divorce between WWE and CM Punk. Man, I think I speak for every single fan, whether you're a fan of Punk or not. Every wrestling fan that'll tell you, man, it would have been great if they could just squash this, act like adults, and CM Punk come back to WWE. Doesn't need to be full-time schedule, but come back, get the reception that you deserve. Come back and, give the fans a treat, but let the fans give you a treat. And again, give you that adulation and have a few matches. And CM Punk still has a lot in him, but, you have to question. He said it time and time again. At what point do we have to fucking stop and say, I think he means it, at least right now. I still say he's going to eventually come back to WWE in some form or fashion. But at some point, do we stop and say he really, really just wants to be done with this shit? It's just a shame because I feel he had so much more to offer and the fans wanted to give more, to offer more of their respect and love to him. And it just... man, what a miserable divorce. But as far as Punk defeating WWE, I was shocked. WWE, Dr. Amann had the WWE juggernaut behind him. Now, whether WWE was actually financing the payroll for this whole lawsuit from Dr. Amann to CM Punk, we don't officially know the details of that. Probably. But whether they were or not, Dr. Amann had a big I don't want to say a payroll, man, because that does make it sound like it was just WWE, but he had a lot of money backing him, I will say that. CM Punk was trying not to spend thousands and thousands of fucking dollars, but he had to in the long run, just to fight this juggernaut. So for CM Punk, the little guy in this battle, to defeat the juggernaut, that was huge, man. This was a shock to me. So that's awesome for CM Punk, especially having to be burdened with all of this going into a fight this Saturday and having this big of a decision being made the week that you're going into a big, highly publicized fight later that weekend. I can't imagine what was going through CM Punk's mind, man. The last week, the last month, the last fucking year battling WWE, because that's what you were really doing. It wasn't Dr. Amann. This lawsuit, if you think about it, was a victory or a loss, one way or the other, for CM Punk against WWE. Because they were the one, whether they were backing the payroll for Dr. Amann or not, they were fully backing Dr. Amann. And that in and of itself means CM Punk was taking on WWE. That's really what it is to me. It's CM Punk defeating WWE in a huge way, not just Dr. Amann. I don't buy that shit. So this was huge for CM Punk, guys. As far as your second part of your question, will he be a part of All In? For those of you that just follow WWE, you don't really know what All In is. That's something that Cody Rhodes in a tag team called the Young Bucks. They do a lot of wrestling down in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, a lot of the independent scenes. And again, Cody Rhodes teaming up with them. They have put together... And you got to respect this. They put together this venue, this event, this attraction known as All In. And it's going to fill this. They actually sold 10,000 tickets. They're trying to actually push a few more. You can't really violate certain fire laws and things of that nature, but they are trying to pull some strings to even get some more tickets sold. But they actually sold out their venue, and they're doing an event called All In. It's going to be this huge independent promotional event that a lot of top superstars outside of WWE will be involved in. Even Kenny Omega is going to be over there. Just a lot of talent. And they were hinting that CM Punk might be there. They never said he wouldn't, and they keep on social media teasing it. And CM Punk never said he wasn't going to until after CM Punk won the court case this past week. He was interviewed, and he was asked directly if he is all in. And CM Punk firmly said, and quickly, didn't even have to think about it, no. So I don't expect CM Punk to actually say yes anyway. If CM Punk is going to be a part of All In, when is it, guys? I think it's in September, correct? The event. If CM Punk was going to be a part of it, I doubt he's going to come out and say, yes, I'm a part of it anyway, and spoil the surprise, or I'm guessing he would let Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and the other planners of the event come out and say, yes, CM Punk is All In. So I don't expect him to tell the truth in that situation anyway, right? Which is irony, because he was just in court and he has to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Anyway, I thought that was funny. So anyway, this after court, now he could tell a big lie and say, no, I'm not all in, when maybe he is all in. We don't know. But it looked to me, guys, again, I didn't expect him to tell the truth in that situation. I want him to lie, so it's a bigger surprise later. But I kind of believed him when he said no. Like, it looked to me like CM Punk is not, at least as of now, all in. And that's believable to me, because his mind was his mind was fully on his fight on the 9th against Mike Jackson, and this court case, a fight against Dr. Amann and WWE. There's no time to really be making side deals for September with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and an All-In event. I think his mind was just on this court case and his next fight in the UFC. But now that the court case is finished, now that after this Saturday, his fight with Mike Jackson in the UFC is finished, maybe he is all in after that. Maybe then he answers the phone calls or the tweets of Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. There's a lot of time between now and September, guys. A lot can happen. So as of now, I firmly believe CM Punk is all out. But by September, I would not be surprised or shocked if CM Punk is all in. Next question, Little Heart. Yo, BC, what are your thoughts on Ricochet? He is amazing, but I'm afraid they're going to cartwheel him into the cruiserweight division. If you were the booker, where would you put him? You cannot put a guy like Ricochet in the cruiserweights, guys. You guys know I'm not a big fan of the flips and dives guys. There's a place for them in pro wrestling, but I feel today's wrestling fan wants to put them at the main event every which way and have them closing out shows or being part of the main show or in certain spots where they shouldn't be. There's a time and place for flips and dives. Once in a while, you get an individual that's a flips and dives guy, but he can do so much more. His presence means so much more. Even though he's short in stature and size, his presence is still demanding of your attention. It's every once in a while. I think Neville kind of had that. They just didn't book him properly. Ricochet's one of those guys. He goes above and beyond just a flips and dives guy, and he can roll around on that canvas. He can be a mat technician if need be. He can tell that story if need be. Very believable, Ricochet. So and this guy is like a fucking Power Ranger with his moveset, let's be honest. His Northern Lights suplex into a brainbuster combo? What about Vertigo? Fucking double rotation moonsault? The fucking 630 senton? This is shit, guys. With Ricochet, it's fucking... His moveset is like a fucking Power Ranger. You don't see this often. And when you put that all together in his presentation for his performances, and he's rolling around on the canvas and going toe-to-toe, putting him on the cruiserweights is a disservice. It really is. It's an injustice, and that is going to diminish Ricochet, and he should not be diminished. As far as your second part of your question, how would I book him? Today, I would have him beat Brock fucking Lesnar. How's that? BC, have you gone crazy? You hate flips and dives, guy. You would have him beat Brock fucking Lesnar? Absolutely. Absolutely. You have this guy that is like a fucking real-life Power Ranger. A big guy like Brock can't even fucking keep up with him. It's the realest David versus Goliath story since something like Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar would have been. But even more so. Because Ricochet's even smaller than Daniel Bryan, correct? But the guy... I would have him run circles around Brock Lesnar, literally, shocking him every which way Brock turns. And in just like 5 minutes, I would have Ricochet defeat Brock Lesnar, shock the fucking world. I would have Ricochet as my champion of the fucking world. I really would. That's how fucking great Ricochet is. You do not put him in the fucking cruiserweights. This guy in real life can run circles around motherfuckers, fucking fly every which way that you don't even know where the fuck to keep up with him, and then he can beat you on the fucking mat as well. So even if you want to make it a ground game, he could tussle with you on the mat as well. He can get you from every which way. He's a dangerous motherfucker. There goes that man. He just better not be going to the cruiserweights. I'll tell you that much. Next up we have, you know what, let's go, we'll do the legit one. What do you think about the whole CM Punk Dr. Amann trial and CM Punk winning? And what do you think about SmackDown Live moving to Fox for $1 billion? $1 billion. I had to, man. What is that from? Austin Powers, right? $1 million. I already answered the CM Punk thing a couple of questions ago, so I'm not going to go over that again. That was obviously huge for Punk and a huge loss for not just Dr. Amann, for WWE. As far as what do I think about SmackDown Live moving to Fox for $1 billion fucking dollars, I say for WWE, that is fucking massive. As Jim Ross would say, business has just picked up. And WWE no longer has to do anything that us fans request or ask or demand of them. This is WWE's world. We're all just living in it at this point. That is massive, guys. I don't know if you guys truly understand the magnitude of that deal. That is a huge win for WWE. That's just massive. There's still talks, though, that it could go to Fox Sports. Right now, yes, the plan is for Fox. But there's a lot of, from what I'm hearing anyway, a lot of it verbatim in these contracts that they're signing between Fox and WWE that leaves Fox as the beholder as to where they want to put WWE SmackDown. Now, if you put it on Fox, if you keep it on Fox, the actual network Fox, that's huge for WWE. You're going to be attracting all new eyeballs and such. That's great. For the fans, we're probably going to lose out because if you thought it was PG/PC now, just wait until they go to network television, guys. All the advertisers that they're going to have to please and to appease, guys. Oh, wow, man. If you thought there's not enough food fights and comedy and cringeworthy segments, just wait until they're on fucking national network TV. Because right now, cable is our only friend as fans who kind of want anything close to that Attitude Era type wrestling. I know we're never going to get that back, but anything close to that, anything more edgy, more risque, more fucking adult themed, good luck once SmackDown goes over to Fox, because they're going to have to appease a whole new set of fucking advertisers, guys. But it'll be great for the business, I'm sure. Now, if they go to Friday nights, no matter where they end up, Fox Sports or Fox, that's going to hurt SmackDown, man. Nobody wants to watch anything on Friday night. That's when usually people are doing something. They worked all week, they went to school, whatever, and now they have Friday night to do something. They're not going to be hindered down at home watching TV. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, if they can keep it on Tuesday, man, that's the way to go. But again, if you can keep it on cable television, which would be Fox Sports, then you could get a little more edgier with your programming. That's a lot better for the fans. So if it goes to Fox permanently like they're saying they're going to, Fox Network, it's better for WWE. If they go to Fox Sports, much better for the fans. Either way, $1 billion? Fucking A, man. Vince McMahon just got a whole lot more fucking richer. Because there's going to be a lot more money trickling down once this deal kicks in. Brian Ernie, hey BC, why are the Authors of Pain not in the tag team? Oh, why weren't? Hey BC, why weren't the Authors of Pain not in the tag team battle royal match on Raw? And when is Sanity going to debut on SmackDown? We're all kind of in awe right now of why you would bring up the Authors of Pain and then take them away since basically their arrival. They haven't been seen in weeks. In Sanity, they started playing the segments, right? The vignettes. And then all of a sudden, they're gone, right? Like, where's Sanity? Where's Authors of Pain? These are two dynamite tag teams from NXT that can actually cause a lot of damage in WWE and on their main roster. Yet, They're holding them both back for something. There's something big, and I think it's revolving around SummerSlam. The very least, after Money in the Bank, Vince McMahon wanted these two top teams, Authors of Pain for Raw, Sanity for SmackDown, to be kept off of television until after Money in the Bank, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's leading up toward or after SummerSlam, where then he starts this new wave for the tag teams. But he's really trying to push Harper and Rowan as his tag team champions for SmackDown, and over on Raw, trying to give Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy the time of day before Authors of Pain eventually and inevitably take those titles from Hardy and Wyatt. But for some reason, he's keeping them off, and that's fucking, it's just mind-boggling that you would start the vignettes, you would bring up the Authors of Pain, and then just keep them both off. Mind-boggling to me, man. But I'll tell you one thing, in the absence of the Authors of Pain, it's damn sure good to see the B team kicking some ass and finally getting some airtime. I always said Authors of Pain should be with Roman Reigns. And it's funny, I said that when Authors of Pain first debuted. And then I took the past, 6-7 weeks off from this channel. And everybody now is going around saying, fucking that Roman Reigns and the Authors of Pain. What a fucking idea that would be. That's how it should be. And, you know, it's like I started that shit when they first got called up. And now you have every other Tom, Dick, and Harry going around saying, you know what would be a good idea? Roman and the Authors of Pain. And everyone's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Well, I guess when people steal your shit, I guess that is a compliment to you doing great shit and putting out great content and knowing your shit. Because Roman Reigns and the Authors of Pain, man, it's my fucking idea. Obviously, man, you look at them three, that's how you would form a stable. You turn Roman full throttle heel, you throw him with the Authors of Pain, man. There's a stable. And again, Sanity's already a legit stable. I just hope they bring up Nikki Cross with them when they finally do show up. Because Nikki Cross belongs with Sanity, at least for the arrival. I mean, I could come up with a bunch of different ways for Nikki Cross, don't get me wrong. I would initially have put her with the Wyatt universe, right? In the whole broken universe. But obviously, with Sanity, man, that she belongs there too. That's her family, and they did so many great things in NXT. Why not bring her up with them? I don't know what they're doing with Sanity or Authors of Pain. We're all just going to be innocent bystanders, watching on until they debut, guys. Gummy Grizzly, my bad. Gummy Grizzly. So what if Becky Lynch does win the briefcase? What do you think happens then? This is obviously in reference to my video yesterday talking about Becky Lynch's big win over Charlotte. But how I feel that that's not going to translate in Becky Lynch actually winning Money in the Bank. So Gummy Grizzly's asking, what if Becky Lynch does retrieve that briefcase at Money in the Bank? What happens then? I don't know, and I don't really care, Gummy Grizzly, as long as we, just like we started this video out, I'm going to keep the same answer here. If she does, she best be turning heel afterwards, because that briefcase needs to be on a fucking heel. Let's go on to Amanda. How's Tyler's Day 30 been? The filming, and when it's done, where can we go see it? Like Netflix or Hulu platforms? Thank you, Amanda. Tyler's Day 30, we're kicking ass. We just have a lot more to go. And this movie is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, but one of the most fun as well. And I know it's going to be one of the most rewarding once it's all said and done. But we still have a lot more to go. The scenes that I already had originated anyway, we still have to film some. But then, as you go along, you come up with new ideas. You want to film things a certain way. You want to go back and reshoot some things. You come up with new scenes. And so that's where we're at right now. We still have a long way to go, but we've come a long way. And this is just for the filming process. Then we go into editing. Then we go into final looks. And then we go into distribution strategy, which is what you're also talking about, Amanda. My plan right now, I'll tell you guys straight up, it's to go into film festivals, try to get a big hit on one of the film festivals, and if we can get some snags there, maybe get some limited theatrical release, maybe. You know, it probably won't be in theatrics all over. I mean, I'm doing this thing by myself. This isn't a major motion picture here, guys, with fucking millions of dollars in budget. But if I can get limited theatrical release and create a buzz, then who knows where we go from there. If not, yes, I absolutely will look into Netflix or maybe a Hulu or Amazon distribution plan. There I'm giving up some revenue up front to those platforms, but I'll be gladly to do that if I can come to a good deal with them. And if not, if I gotta, pump this motherfucker out myself, I'll do that too. But right now we're in the filming phase, then we go into editing, then final looks, and then we have distribution. Still a long way to go, but thanks, Amanda. M. Jackson 17, what are your thoughts on the hate Sasha Banks is receiving on social media currently due to a stale character and botches? I've been gone for a little bit as far as keeping up on pro wrestling social media-wise. Is that what's happening? So Sasha Banks has always gotten hate. That just means she's fucking great at what she does. When you're that fucking great, you're going to attract that hate. But thoughts on Sasha Banks receiving hate on social media currently due to a stale character and botches? That's just these are just idiots that want to hate Sasha Banks, so they're trying to come up with reasons. And a stale character, I call bullshit. Her character is coming into question, the legit boss character. If that's the case, what's Alexa Bliss's character? I'll give you guys time. Go ahead. I'm asking you, what's Alexa Bliss's character? Oh, BC, she's entitled, she plays the bitch character, BC. Okay, what else? There's got to be more. No, that's it. Okay, well, what's Mickie James's character? Well, actually, Mickie James doesn't really have a character, BC, but she's one of the greatest of all time. Okay, well, let's go to, fucking Becky Lynch. What's her character? Oh, she's straight fire, BC. Okay, but what's the character? She comes to the ring, and she has red hair and goggles and a long jacket. Okay, that's not stale either. Nia Jax, what is she? She's the Beast, BC. Okay, but what does she do? What's over the top? What makes her not stale? Well, I don't know, BC. Anybody you think of, guys. How is Sasha Banks stale, but all of them are not? Please, Sasha Banks has one of the best entrance themes for all the females in WWE. Her entrance is fucking unique, and in the ring, she kicks ass. She's one of the best female wrestlers of all time, in my opinion, the best. So then when you realize that I'm calling bullshit on stale character, then you go to botches. She botches all the time. I hear this, but watching wrestling for 30 fucking years, I never see these botches people are talking about. Like when a Sasha Banks match comes on, do they really look so closely and they're only watching for botches? And when they see one little thing, they take to Twitter, oh, saw one. I saw a botch from Sasha. Sasha botches is at it again. Please, get the fuck out of here. I would rather watch a match with 5 fucking Sasha Banks botches than a match with any other female anyway. That's how great she is in the ring. The only problem here with your theory is she doesn't fucking botch. Once in a blue fucking moon, but I can tell you right now, some of the top superstars that have ever graced that ring in that company have botched. If you watch pro wrestling for botches, you're an absolute fucking ignorant loser. I mean, seriously, guys, stop with the Sasha Banks thing, man. I mean, everyone says, oh, BC, you love Sasha Banks, you talk about her all the time on your channel. Well, for good reason. I feel she is the best female talent in WWE. So yeah, she's going to be talked about the most. There's a bias there. There's no question. But you guys wonder why I talk about her so much, because you also have this group of people that if you just don't like Sasha Banks as the wrestler, as the character, that's fine. But when that group of people start coming out with these stupid wrestling terms that they put out there just to make themselves sound smarter, she botches. That's why I don't like her. She's got a stale character. When somebody's been watching for 30 fucking years and Sasha Banks is one of the only fucking bright spots of the whole show, then I'm gonna call bullshit. I hate to put my ego on full blast here, but yes, if you're saying shit like Sasha Banks botches too often and she's got a stale character, then yes, I am smarter than you. Sorry, not sorry. Just a fact, man. Sometimes you have to put your ego aside and just come out with the fact. It may sound egotistical, but you have to just say, I'm smarter than you. Sometimes you watching me right now, in life, you're going to come across people where you're just smarter than them, and you have to put them in check. This is one of those times I have to put these Sasha Banks haters in check, man. Her character is stale my ass. I just went over every fucking half the women's roster. How is their characters better and bigger and larger than life than Sasha? You can't give me a fucking reason. Come on, man. Charlotte, she's a queen, BC, okay? She comes to the ring with a robe. What else? Come on, brah. And then in the ring, you're telling me she botches. That's your next wrestling terminology. Yet I've been watching 30 years, fucking every which wrestler come and go. Sasha Banks, I rarely see this woman botch. And if she does, it's usually her opponent that initiates it. But you watch a botch and then go on social media. Wow, Sasha botch at it again. Please, I can think of half the women's roster that botches every single match, but you never hear me complain about it. Because it's gonna happen from time to time. I would take a match with Sasha Banks botching 5 times than watch any other female on the roster, aside from Ember Moon and Naomi, maybe. But that's how great Sasha Banks is. As long as it's not harming her competitor, she can botch 4 or 5 times, I'm still gonna love Sasha Banks. The only problem with your theory is, she doesn't botch at all in most of her matches. So, good try with that. But then you're gonna come across a real wrestling fan that has immense knowledge like the Amplified Man, and I'm gonna call bullshit. Hope that answers that, M. Jackson 17. Sasha Banks is just the best. You don't have to like it. You're gonna have to deal with it. Amanda, second question, man. But we love you, Amanda. You're always commenting on the videos, one of my favorite subs. So I'm going to answer a second question for you. I heard Dean Ambrose is only working house shows. Is that true? I've heard nothing about that. So look at that, Amanda. You've heard something that I didn't, because all I heard was Dean Ambrose showed up at like a hockey event, a hockey fucking game, and he was sporting a new look. I did hear that. I didn't hear he was doing house shows. However, he might show up for a house show or two, see where he's at wrestling-wise before he goes on TV. I think that would be a drastic disservice to the surprise that is supposed to be there for Dean Ambrose showing up. I don't think he should be showing up at house shows, but I wouldn't be shocked if he shows up to a house show or two. But I haven't heard anything about him showing up yet. I heard he showed up to a hockey game sporting a new look. Rowdy Nation Powers. Good morning, B motherfucking C. How's your day going? Well, I'm kicking ass, man. You know that. I'm kicking ass, as I always do. I wake up, the feet touch the fucking ground, and the devil, as The Rock would say, goes a-running. The devil don't even want a piece of the Amplified Man, because I'm smashing shit up. I'm fucking everything and everyone up in my path. From the time I wake up to the time I fucking put my head down on that pillow for the 2 to 3 hours I might get. But yeah, man, we kicked ass early this morning. I'm able to do this video for you guys now, and then we're going to go and kick ass the rest of the day. We got a long night ahead of us, but with some tall-ass coffees, with the Amplified Man at top peak and top performance. When I walk down that New York City streets, everybody breaks waves, man. Everyone fucking pardons the Red Sea, right? And everyone goes left and right, and the Amplified Man's got a full fucking path. Because ain't nobody getting in front of the Amplified Man, so it's a beautiful fucking day, because I create my own destiny. Perhaps I got a little too amplified there, but, you know, I appreciate that. Somebody asking me how my day's going. I'm kicking the fucking shit out of today. I just hope that you, Rowdy Nation Powers, and every one of you motherfuckers watching this, today and always, from the time you open your eyes every morning, you beat the fuck out of the day ahead of you. I don't care what's going on in your life. You're getting divorced, you gotta go back to work, you hate your fucking job, you're battling a disease, whatever the fuck it is, when you wake up, depression, I don't give a fuck, you fuck the day up. And when it's time to go to bed, you look at the fucking what you created on that day, whether mentally or physically viewing what you've created, and you say, I did that shit, I fucked you up. You didn't get the best of me today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I fucked you up. And if you thought that was bad, wait till I deal with tomorrow. If it was Tuesday, wait till I deal with Wednesday. Thursday, you better fucking run right now, because I'm gonna fuck you up. When I'm done with you, you're gonna be depressed. Nothing should hinder your well-being in your life. And your quality of living. You should always control that destiny mentally within your head. You have the power. Ow. Got a little amplified there. Sorry, guys. We'll do one more. I think I'm getting too amplified. I still got a long night ahead of me. Antonio, welcome back, B motherfucking C. Which tag team do you think was a brighter? Which tag team do you think has a brighter future with WWE in regards to reaching main event status? Breezango or the Revival? Or do you think they both either need to be released or sent back to NXT if that's even a viable option? Good question, Antonio. The Revival, I see nothing in them. NXT, they had some good matches. One of them was the match of the year for me. I think that was 2016 though, right? I don't think that was 2017. But for me, they had a match of the year candidate easily. So we know they have the talent if in the right circumstance. For me, the right circumstance and situation would have to be in NXT. I don't think they have what it takes to gain over the casual fans' adulation on the main roster. I just don't. They don't have that type of persona. They don't have that type of character. They don't have that type of personality in general. There's a skill level within the two, but it's better suited for NXT. The problem is, if NXT is truly what it says it is, and that's developmental, then they can't really go back, because now you legitimately are just a seesaw promotion for WWE. You can be a catalyst for WWE, a catalyst promotion, but you can't be a seesaw. You can't be flip-flopping talent like it's Raw and SmackDown. So, the only thing you're going to be able to do with the Revival eventually, unfortunately, guys, I hate to say it, you're going to have to release them eventually. They're never, mark my words, they're never going to get over with the casual fan base in WWE. And if you can't do that, it's going to be really hard to get over in general. And as far as Breezango, I fucking love Breezango, man. Their comedy is fucking great when on point and the creative is working with them in writing. They can create some funny shit, but they obviously can go in the ring. Tyler Breeze is leaps and bounds better than when he first started in NXT, and we know that Fandango can go in that ring. I think that was their spot. What the B team is doing now, I think that might have been originally planned for Breezango. This kind of comedy, just secondary team that everyone forgot about that's always on a losing streak, and all of a sudden they get this huge winning streak and even get title opportunities. I think that was for Breezango, and all of a sudden B team came out of nowhere and started getting the reaction, and Vince McMahon really liked them. And it's great for the B team, not so much for Breezango. But I don't think we write Breezango off yet. I love Breezango, and I think there's a lot more to offer with them. I think they can easily get over with the casual fan base, which is going to be leaps and bounds better for the overall theory of which team can get over more with WWE's fan base. Is it going to be Revival or is it going to be Breezango? I say Breezango. I just don't think Revival has what it takes. Hopefully that answers that, Antonio. That's going to be it, guys. The better part of an hour. Maybe I went a little bit over. Maybe I'm a little under, but it's about an hour. And I thank you guys, every one of you that were here from minute one all the way to the end of this video. You are the true Amplified unit, and there is no unit more badass than the Amplified unit. And there ain't no man more badass than the Amplified man. And together, we are one fucking badass entity, guys. Hold on, wait a second. We got some unfinished business, right? Like the title says of this video. I already told you guys Sasha Banks is my pick. But for a bigger reason, not just because she's my favorite wrestler, man. No, because I have a bigger picture, and I'm going to tell you guys what that picture is, how I'm going to book Sasha Banks and everyone around her in next week's Amplified booking for Money in the Bank in that video. So I'm going to give you guys a lot more details next week in that video. But Sasha Banks for the women captures that Money in the Bank briefcase in my booking. So who would I have for the men, right? We didn't go over that yet, and I promised you guys I would. So before I end this video, it can only be one guy. If I'm going by my theory, it has to be a heel or somebody that's going to turn heel. Then my options, again, are limited, a lot less limited than the women. The women only had two. The Money in the Bank for the men, actually, let's think about it. You have Rusev that's playing a heel right now, even though he gets people cheering for him much more than some of the faces right now. But Rusev is supposedly a heel. You have fucking Samoa Joe up in there as a heel. You have Kevin Owens up in there as a heel. So that's already more than the women already have, which is only two for the women. Lana and fucking Alexa Bliss. So for Money in the Bank for the men, you could put it in The Miz too, obviously a heel. But you could put this on so many people, man. I could see it with The Miz because it would definitely go with his character. You could create something really cool and epic with Kevin Owens with it. Finn Balor as a face with it and then turning heel, kind of like what I have Sasha Banks doing. You could do something like that with Finn because I have the booking for Finn to do that. I'm just not going to tap into that. For me, the obvious choice here is the way to go, and that is Samoa Joe. Simplistic, right? Samoa Joe not only is deserving of the briefcase, I hate the word deserved in pro wrestling, but he is deserving of it. It would catapult Joe to where he should be, not just in WWE, but especially on SmackDown's roster as one of, if not the legit heel on the show. And he would look great with that fucking briefcase. You would believe it. It would bring an aspect to Samoa Joe that can only broaden his horizons going forward. It can only broaden the already full potential that Joe has. It can only bring another level of epicness to that. Samoa Joe can only benefit from this, from having a briefcase by his side. And there aren't many better antagonists in WWE right now than Samoa Joe. So could you imagine if he's the one teasing, cashing in two, 3 times every fucking month until he actually does? You're gonna believe it. And at any moment, you're gonna think, yeah, Joe can not only attempt to cash in, but he'll fucking do it. Samoa Joe. In one night, Sasha Banks and Samoa Joe capture 2 highlighted moments that we'll remember for the rest of the fucking year at least. I think those are the 2 to shine the brightest next Sunday. How about you guys? Who do you have as the 2 people, 1 woman, 1 male, to win those Money in the Bank briefcase matches next Sunday? Jot down 2 names below. I read what you guys are writing, man, and I always love it. And if it's 2 names that I can work with, I'm going to be like, fuck, that's actually not bad, you know? But for me, Sasha and Samoa Joe. So you didn't think I was going to end this video and not give you guys what I promised you, man. That's the male performer for the men's Money in the Bank match that I would have, man. It's the obvious choice. It's the simplistic choice, but it's the right choice. Samoa fucking Joe. He could do so much with that going forward. And I think that would be the most fun and most entertaining. That's it for real, guys. That is fucking it. Amplified Man's going. Coffees and ass whoopings. You know the deal. For now, salut. I'll check you.